Welcome to the Razor's Edge. We're going to talk about character strengths. Most of us simply seek extrinsic goods like comfort, wealth, and pleasure without really thinking about it. These things bring a temporary form of happiness, but do not really help us thrive. We're not taught about how to live a good life. Consequently, we're somewhat clueless about what a truly good life looks like. In fact, our view of happiness is distorted. I love the way Edward Deasy thinks about happiness. He says, in truth, happiness is not all it's cracked up to be, and most people don't really want to be happy all the time anyway. People often choose to go to movies or operas that are very unsettling, that terrify, sadden, disgust, or anger them. Terror is not happiness, nor is sadness, disgust, or anger, and it makes no sense to say that feelings of anger or disgust makes one happy. Happy is simply the wrong concept for what it is that's natural to people, for what it is that they seek, and what it is that promotes human development. The true meaning of being alive is not just to feel happy, but to experience the full range of human emotions. Martin Seligman put it this way: authentic happiness is about the meaning of the happy and unhappy moments, and the tapestry they weave, and the strengths and virtues they display that make up the quality of your life. In other words, in a truly good life, we embrace the full range of human emotions. Now remember the happiness pie chart we talked about. 40% of our happiness is determined by our lifestyle choices. The most important goal of the Razor's Edge is to learn to be intentional in using this 40% to thrive. We're going to examine what we know about how to create a truly great life and thrive. One facet of a great life is nurtured by intentionally developing and exercising character strengths and creating positive emotion. These strengths may not bring immediate pleasure or comfort, but they lead to fulfillment, satisfaction, and a sense of meaning and purpose. These strengths represent positive emotions, or the P in the PERMA model. The positive psychology literature identifies 24 key character strengths in 6 categories. I've picked 7 character strengths as examples to discuss with you. Building these strengths in your life may not be easy or fun, but exercising these strengths produces satisfying and enduring feelings of competence and authenticity. Creativity is original thinking, being adaptive and combining unrelated ideas. Creativity allows us to thrive in new situations and overcome obstacles. My father-in-law, Russell Shepard, was very creative. He took a tree root and imagined a Native American face in it. He had to work around the unpredictable grain, but gave it life by carving the face and creating my favorite lamp. Curiosity is a desire to explore and understand phenomena in our world, to ask questions and seek answers. How can huge jets stay in the air? Can I figure out how to repair this cracked bowl? Why do leaves turn yellow in the fall? Curiosity leads to learning, and learning provides its own reward, a sense of competence and mastery. It also helps us connect with others when we share our knowledge and find common interests. Persistence is finishing what you start despite difficulty and obstacles. Pushing through difficult challenges can be incredibly rewarding. Going to college, studying, taking tests, writing papers, solving problems, class after class, and then graduating is a huge feat of persistence. Graduating can provide a lifelong source of achievement and positive emotion. Perhaps more importantly, that persistence brings knowledge and skills that will come in handy when you least expect them. When our kids were younger, we used to go to Canyonlands National Park and mountain bike the 100-mile White Rim Trail. It's beautiful, desolate, and challenging. My son Matt would try so hard to ride the whole thing as a little guy. In particular, he struggled to ride Murphy's Hogback, a steep, loose climb. Year after year he failed, but would ride and practice throughout the year, hoping the next trip he would conquer the climb. I remember the year he climbed the whole thing. I have a picture of it. It was awesome. I remember thinking how persistent he was. His persistence has been a huge benefit as he's pursued his dream of becoming a physician. Integrity is an authenticity of self, a unity of our values and beliefs with our behaviors. In doing what you know is right all the time, even when no one is watching, it may even mean killing a deal or losing money sometimes. The American businessman and philanthropist John Huntsman Sr. was a man of complete integrity. When his company was struggling, in an effort to bring in some operating cash, he agreed to sell 40% of the Huntsman Chemical Corporation for $53 million. In the 6 months between the time he struck the deal with a handshake and the signing and execution of the contract, the value of that 40% had increased to $250 million. There was no written contract. Mr. Huntsman said that it didn't matter. He had given his word. To the chagrin of some of his executives and lawyers, he executed the verbal agreement, giving up almost $200 million but retaining his integrity. Living a life of integrity is its own reward. Integrity is a great source of inner strength, peace, and meaning. You own it, and no one else can take it away from you. Kindness is noticing, being concerned about, and helping other people. Lumba Mirsky reports an experiment in which people were required to do 5 acts of kindness a week for 6 weeks. One group was asked to spread those acts throughout a week. The other group was asked to do all 5 acts in a single day during a week. They found the participants who did all 5 acts in a single day had a larger and longer boost in the reported feelings of well-being and life satisfaction. Making frequent acts of kindness a regular part of your day can produce positive emotion. The last 2 examples of character strengths I'm going to talk about may be the most important. They are directly related to your well-being, and I believe they're foundational to you becoming a great leader. These character strengths are gratitude and humility. Gratitude is an attitude of appreciation and thankfulness for actions of others and for the blessings or benefits we have in our lives. Research by Sheldon and others suggests that when we show gratitude or engage in gratitude exercises, we improve relationship formation and maintenance and feel a greater sense of well-being. Correlational research shows people who are grateful are less likely to be depressed, anxious, lonely, or neurotic. In one research project, one group was asked to think about, write down, and express 5 things they were grateful for over a number of weeks. Another was asked to do the same thing with daily hassles or life problems. The gratitude subjects reported being more optimistic and having greater life satisfaction. They even appeared to have fewer health problems. Further research shows that expressing gratitude increases self-worth, helps manage stress, promotes moral behavior, keeps us from comparing ourselves negatively to others, and reduces feelings of anger and greed. The last character strength I'll discuss is humility. Humility may be the most important character strength because so many of the other strengths can only be practiced if we're humble. Think of open-mindedness, forgiveness, curiosity, fairness, kindness, integrity, and even gratitude. June Tagney has done some excellent work on humility. She points out that many definitions of humility focus on low self-esteem, weakness, and submissiveness. Rather, she suggests humility is an accurate assessment of one's ability and achievements, comfort with both one's strengths and weaknesses, a willingness to acknowledge mistakes, gaps in knowledge and limitations, and openness to new ideas, contradictory information and advice. Low self-focus, keeping one's abilities and accomplishments in perspective, and appreciation of the value of all people. You are all future leaders. Whether you plan to be or not, you might as well learn to be great ones. The lack of humility can lead to crazy, bad behaviors in leaders. But appropriate humility grows essential leadership strengths. Humble leaders are not threatened by the strength and success of others. They readily celebrate others' achievements. They enthusiastically hire people better than themselves, listen to feedback, and do not get offended. They're focused on the well-being of the people around them and the success of the group. So in conclusion, seeking extrinsic goods like money, pleasure, beauty, and power is associated with higher levels of depression, anxiety, and narcissism. People who focus on intrinsic goods like personal growth, serving and teaching others, or developing services and products that bless lives exhibit higher levels of life satisfaction, well-being, and happiness.